Hello, and thank you for joining us for Accuknox Office Hour today. Today, we have joining us Barun to give a special presentation on KubeArmor deployment modes. Barun, could you tell us a little about yourself and kick us off?
Sure, thank you. So, hi everyone, I'm Barun. I'm a software engineering intern at Accuknox. I contribute to KubeArmor and maintain the tooling around it. Today, I will be talking about what all different deployment modes are available for KubeArmor. So, I'll start with sharing my screen. Hopefully, my screen is visible.
Yep.
Great. So starting with what all I will be covering. So we will start with what all different methods one can deploy one's application, where KubeArmor can protect your application. And finally, I will be demoing how exactly do we deploy KubeArmor. So what are the different methods one can deploy their application? Kubernetes, that's the hot topic now. So KubeArmor integrates natively with Kubernetes. They listen to the APIs and provide the runtime security enforcement system. But what if you have more traditional approaches towards application deployment? Like you deploy directly on your operating system, you have your own, you set up and manage your own virtual machines. KubeArmor can protect them all as well. Now, coming to how to exactly deploy KubeArmor. So we have this nice documentation where we have explained how exactly we can set up KubeArmor. I will start with how KubeArmor runs directly on a host as a systemd service. So
Can you zoom in a bit, Barun?
yeah, sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right. So we will start with downloading the latest release of KubeArmor, which is 0.2, since I have an Ubuntu setup. So I will just download the Debian file, and we have the latest release of KubeArmor. We do a sudo apt install. I already had it installed, so I don't need to install it again. We restart our KubeArmor systemd service, and here we are. Oops. Okay. Right.
Yeah, do you want to start afresh?
Yep, I should
remove
start.
remove the deep package depth.
For some reason, KubeArmor is crashing. I should start again, right? Give me a second to debug this. Right.
Bind already in use. Address already is in use.
It should have worked when I restarted. Okay,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
working.
Okay, so this is not bad. So what we have seen is that in the logs, we saw that the bind address was already in use, right? And that is why it terminated, right? So and now, what did you do? Just restarted it again. The KubeArmor takes some time. So what happened right now? How did it start?
Right. So the issue was that I already had KubeArmor running in Kubernetes, and
Oh,
I tried to install KubeArmor on the host at the same time. So the gRPC endpoints conflicted, and the systemd service started to terminate. But
okay.
I then followed up with
Okay, that's not bad. So in a way, we got a taste of how to debug, right? We use standard tools as to the journal kettle is the standard tool used on Linux to figure out the systemd logs, and you see a clear bind error there. So you know that the port 32767 was already in use in some other place, isn't it? Okay. So yeah, we can continue now.
right. So we finally have KubeArmor running now, and I will just show you a sample host policy which we can use to enforce things. So we have this policy where we are blocking the process sleep. If I try to execute sleep right now, it works fine as expected. We want to start watching for alerts because we need to check if our enforcement works fine or not. Now
Right now it
that,
works because there is no policy, right?
right, now we apply our policy, host policy.yaml. And as you can see, it was a success. We also saw that our security rules were updated. Now, if I try to execute sleep, it's denied. And it was denied because of our policy, HSP, dev proc path block. So our enforcement system works fine. And that's how KubeArmor works directly on your host. Now to remove the policy, we can use our KArmor utility to KArmor VM policy delete. And now we will have our sleep working fine again. So that's how KubeArmor works on your host system. Now to uninstall, simply do sudo apt remove KubeArmor, and that will remove the service. Next on is using KubeArmor directly on your Kubernetes cluster. So we have our Kubernetes pod, Kubernetes cluster with the following set of deployments. We have Cilium, we have a multi-Ubuntu test pods, which we will be experimenting with. And now I will use KArmor. Let's first check our KArmor version. Okay, so when we uninstalled KubeArmor, the package, it also uninstalled KArmor utility with it. So we will have to reinstall our KArmor utility, which we can simply do by using this one-line script. This script.
So KubeArmor client is the repo where the KubeArmor utility is maintained, right?
Right.
Okay.
So this script automatically checks for the latest available KubeArmor utility version and installs it for you. So if I now do a KubeArmor version, we can see that we have KubeArmor 0.6.2, but KubeArmor is not running for us. To install KubeArmor, we do a KubeArmor install. This automatically detects whatever environment your Kubernetes cluster is running in and installs all the required set of deployments for you. So now we can see that our KubeArmor is running. We have policy manager, we have the relay service. So now we can check out a policy enforcement here as well. We have the sample policy, which will block sleep in group 1. And group 1 includes our Ubuntu 1 and Ubuntu 2 multi-pods. So we will execute into a multi-Ubuntu pod. We run sleep 1. It works fine as expected. Now we start watching for alerts. We apply our policy using kubectl. Right, so the policy was created, and now if I try to run sleep, it's denied, and we got our telemetry event as expected, where we had a matched policy with the specific policy I showed you. If I remove to uninstall KubeArmor, we simply can run KubeArmor uninstall, and KubeArmor will start terminate, and the related deployment files, deployment packages will also be removed. But what if you don't want to use KubeArmor CLI? What if you already have Helm, or you directly use YAML files to manage your Kubernetes deployments? We have that covered as well. We can simply, so we have this documentation where we have explained how to install KubeArmor using Helm. The only issue is that you need to know the environment you want to run KubeArmor in. So when I showed you installation using KubeArmor, we saw that we auto-detected the environment. But if you are aware what your environment is, we can deploy using other options as well. So for Helm deployments, we use this command helm upgrade install KubeArmor. We have the charts in this directory. Our environment is Docker, and I'm installing in the kube system namespace. So we have KubeArmor getting deployed now. Right, so we have the sleep command working as expected. We will once again apply our policy and see if the sleep gets denied or not. It gets denied and we get the telemetry data as expected. And the final way to deploy KubeArmor would be, so to uninstall KubeArmor here, either you can use the helm command to helm uninstall KubeArmor, or we can simply run KubeArmor uninstall again, and this will clear out things for us. The final way to install KubeArmor is manually using YAML files. The manual YAML based installation, the YAML files are available here. We are using the Docker YAML file, and we can directly use this kubectl apply f, and as you can see, this creates the same set of resources that KubeArmor did, and we can apply our policy. KubeArmor is started, sleep on, and we get our telemetry data. If we delete our policy, sleep works as expected. There's another way to deploy KubeArmor, that is your self-managed virtual machines, but we already covered it in another office hour. So we will probably link it somewhere and you can check that out. That's all for how to deploy KubeArmor. Hopefully you all try KubeArmor, and I will hand Jen mic back.
Thank you very much, Barun. Appreciate your demo today. Could you tell us a little more about how to contribute to KubeArmor or Accuknox?
Sure. So KubeArmor has, we have this contributing guide which you can check out. We have linked good first issues, help wanted issues. You can join us on our Slack, just give us feedback, create discussions, participate in our community meetings, which happens every Thursday, bi-weekly on Thursdays. And we really appreciate any sort of feedback you give to us. So that's all the ways you can contribute to KubeArmor.
That's great. Thank you, Barun. Appreciate sharing that. All right, this concludes our office hour for today. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you.
Thank you.